Dear friends, welcome back to Automate with Rakesh. In this video, we are going to learn about the pipeline in Automation Hub. What is the pipeline? What does it indicate in Automation Hub? What are these options? If you click on review, what happens? If you click on decision, what exactly do you see? And in the decision, there is something called a global overview. How do you understand if the automation is difficult, medium, easy? Right? All these things, how this graph been created. Implementation pipeline, what is it? What do you see as an output? What is a live pipeline? All these things we are going to learn in this video. So let's get started. Now, before we get started, one important thing we need to remember, if you open any idea, we need to always remember the phases, how it goes. So this is called phases. So the initial phase is the idea phase, assessment phase, qualification phase, right? So idea where you're submitting the idea, assessment where you are really getting the details of that idea. For example, how many full-time employees are involved, what is the average handle time per task, right? So all these things you are going to declare here in the assessment. Next comes the qualification phase, where you will review whether we should start development on this idea or we should reject the idea because there is no good ROI. Analysis, right, where you actually design your PDD, right, process definition document. Solution design, where you design your solution design document. And then comes the development, where the developer will start doing the development. Next comes the testing, right? You will do unit testing, system testing of your entire automation actually, right, to see end to end if it works or not. Then you would start a UAT or a business review of your automation. Then you would also do a technical review of your automation in case there is a feedback. And then you would do a preparation, how many virtual machines you require, right? You have to create assets, if you have all the technical reviews, if the code is fine, all these things you do, right? All as a solution architect, he will involve and do all the technical review, everything is fine or not. And finally, the project will go live. So these phases are important to remember. Okay, so to make it easy, what I've done, I have written it on a notepad. So if you see, idea, assessment, qualification, analysis, solution design, development, testing, business review, technical review, live. Okay, this flow should be in your mind before we start the pipeline. Great. So now let me cancel this. Let's go back to workspace. And here you have the pipeline. There are 4 pipelines. One is the review, decision, implementation, and live. These are the 4 different pipelines we have. Now let's see what comes in review. I'll click on review. And in review, if you see, it has the phases. What are the phases? Idea phase, assessment phase, business review phase, technical review phase. So review means you are reviewing it, right? The idea would be reviewed. If it is assessment, you are reviewing the assessment. Business review. So this 4 stages, idea, assessment, business review, technical review. By default, if you click on this, it gives you how many of your ideas are in these stages or in these phases. Idea phase, assessment phase, business review phase, or technical phase. It will give you the entire one. So this is the review pipeline you're reviewing. In case you would like to apply a few more phases, you would like to, all these things you can do, or else you would like to remove something. Let's say I don't need business review, I don't need technical review, I just need idea and assessment. So you can play around with the filters. Now next, go to decision pipeline in Automation Hub. What is this decision pipeline? Now, what are the phases we are actually considering in this report? We need to understand. Now, first, what you do once you go to the decision pipeline, scroll down. And here, if you see, it brings up a couple of other phases. What are those phases? Now, let's compare the phases. The first one is the qualification phase. After the BA has submitted the assessment, then it goes to qualification phase, where your process owner or the RPA, the person who approves, so that because the billing will start, right? The developers will have to put. So qualification is the phase where you actually decide if there is a ROI or not, and a couple of other factors. So qualification, anything which is in decision, right? So qualification is a decision point. So this will come under decision. Technical review, this is also decision point. Let's say you need during the technical review, you found, okay, this development what is being done, right, doesn't have multiple, it requires multiple VMs and we still don't have, so it's still technical review. Or you found there are certain code review has yet to be done or has to be upgraded, technical review. So anything which is a decision point, technical review decision point, business review is a decision point. So these things, qualification phase, business review phase, and technical review, this is will come under decision. Now what are this awaiting review and on hold? This is the stage. So qualification might get onto awaiting review or on hold. The technical review can get onto a rework required. Okay, if a rework required. So these are the status of each phase. So each phase has also has a status. If you see, the qualification has a status called awaiting review. So this awaiting review is a status, on hold is a status, rework required is also a status of technical review. Getting it? Now let's focus on this one. How did I get this kind of a graph? Difficult, it says medium and easy. So easy, I have this much percentage, and this is a difficult automation. How does this work? I'm going to show you. Okay. Now what I will do, I'll go to one of my idea. This comes from the assessment form. Okay. This comes from the assessment form. So this is one of my idea, invoice processing US. During the assessment, there are so many things that is being asked. I'm going to click on edit. Let me scroll down. Okay. Now this decision is based on this assessment form. For example, look at this one. Percentage of digital data input. Percentage of digital data input. Let's say I have 100% digital inputs, no problem. Scanned data input. Let's say I don't have any scanned document. What happens? If it is 100% digital, it becomes easy for you to automate. If it is 10% digital, will you be able to automate? No, it is difficult to automate. Percentage of structured digital data input. Structured means like Excel is a structured data. Your rental agreement, which has paragraphs, could be a unstructured data or a semi-structured data. So percentage of structured digital data, what is your percentage? Let's say I'm making it 100, greater than 80%, I have structured data. If it is greater than 80%, now what happens if you scroll down and number of thin client or the applications that you're using, based on that, it will automatically, there is a script which will automatically run how you're entering your values here. Silently it is going to run and going to show you, okay, your automation potential, you can automate this 93%, ease of implementation 69%. You can easily implement this 69%, okay. Now there are also a couple of other factors. Number of ways to complete the process. So here if you see the number of ways I have put, greater than 5 to less than 8. Let's say process is completed the same way every time. It's a straightforward process. Now if I select this, if I go down, see, the ease of implementation has gone to 91%. Now if I save this, so based on your assessment form, it decides whether automation is easy, medium, or difficult. Okay, now let's see the graph once again. Go to decision. And here if you see, now everything is green. Now let me go back to the same automation. Now if you see, there is all are easy automations. Now let's go back to my idea once again. Now here I am going to click once again into this invoice processing. Now let's change some of the assessment data inputs. What I will do, I'll go here. I will say number of ways to complete the process. So number of ways to complete the process, let's say greater than 8 ways. There are multiple different ways to complete the process. The moment I change this, what happens? You can see ease of implementation percentage from 90%, it has come down to 58 now. Okay, now let's make it more difficult. Percentage of digital data input. Let's say the percent of digital data input is, let's say 50. I'm simply entering 50. Scan data input. Yes, I have scan data inputs. Structured, percentage of structured digital data. So almost everything is less than 40% I have. I mean, everything is more like a paragraph. So it becomes difficult, right, to automate those kind of unstructured data. Now if I scroll down, if you see it has come down to ease of implementation is 0, automation potential is 20%. Now, because in the decision you have to take decision whether we should go for implementation or we should not do it. You will take a decision, right? Based on this course, you can easily understand whether we can go, is it doable or it's not. It's not automation candidate. So now if you see, if I save this data now, okay, and if I go back to the pipeline, now in the pipeline, if you see, there's a difficult one has come. Red color means difficult. So based on your value, it comes. Now you might try to understand how it is calculated. The algorithm behind the scene is easy means if it is saying easy, that means if the result is between 65 to 100%. Okay, what result? Ease of implementation. So there you saw, right? It was 20, very less. Ease of implementation. If the result is between 65 to 100%, then it will say easy. Medium. If the result is between 35 to 65 percentage, difficult means 0 to 35%. So difficult means it is not automable, or you requires a lot of you need to take help, or it will be very difficult for you to automate. You have to build lot many algorithms. So this doesn't actually talk about the number of days you require. Easy you might take 10 days to 2 weeks, difficult might be a month. It is not talking about that. It is just saying what is your automation is easy to automate, easy to develop, is it medium, or it is difficult to develop. That is what the meaning is. And there is a document which you can always refer. Okay, detailed assessment algorithm. Now coming back to Automation Hub, you have something called implementation. What is this pipeline? Now all you do, look at this. So what are the phases? It is looking at analysis. Analysis means creating PDD, I told you. Solution design, you're designing your SDD. Development, the developer is doing the studio development, workflow development, and then he's testing. So this is called implementation phase. Bringing back my notepad. Now if you look at what happened, analysis. So this is a implementation phase, right? I'll simply write I. And solution design is again a implementation phase. Development is again implementation phase, right? Testing is implementation phase. What was idea? Idea was which phase? Review, the first one, right? We saw that. Assessment was what phase? Assessment was also in review phase. Qualification was more of a review. Qualification was decision, right? So qualification was what? Decision. You will take a decision. So this is a decision point. And then after qualification, your business review was a decision point. Your technical review was also a decision point. Now what phase is left now? Live. Okay, let's click on the last pipeline. These are the groups. Okay, one is you are reviewing, that is one group. Decision is one more group. Implementation is one more group. Live is one more group. Okay, decision means qualification, business review, technical review, the decision points, right? Review means you are reviewing the idea, you are doing the assessment, right? These are the review phases. Decision you saw, and then implementation means this all comes from PDD creation until you test. The last stage is live. And the live stage, what is the filter criteria? The phase is live. For review phase, what is the filter criteria? Idea, assessment, business review and technical review. What is that? Business review, technical review. For decision, okay, let's go back. For decision, again, your technical review, qualification. Okay, this also comes here in your decision. Your technical review also could be this one. So what you do, you don't have to really remember the graph. All you do every time you come to Automation Hub, come here and check what are the filters applied. So that gives you a clear idea which phase we are in. Okay, so now we have understood all the different phases. These are called Automation Hub pipelines: review, decision pipeline, implementation pipeline, live pipeline. How many I have in the live? For example, if I click on live, I see these many automations are already in live. Okay, this many automation. So if you would like to download and share it with management, I can easily do them. So thank you guys for watching this. We are going to come up with more such interesting, knowledgeable contents. Continue to watch my videos on the channel Automate with Rakesh.